here, so we will start. For your information, this room is a room for the cluster of business, economy, management, and business, and also agriculture for the next section. For right now, I will make a presentation for the economy, management, and business cluster. So for this cluster, we have 3 speakers, and I will explain to all of you that every speaker will have 15 minutes of all of this. I mean, 10 minutes for the presentation and then 5 minutes for Q&A. So please follow that schedule tightly because we have a lot of things to do after this. Okay, and without taking too much time, I will please welcome our first speaker, Mr. Satya Budi Dartono, with the paper title, Effect of Servants, Leadership of Knowledge Characteristic. Please, Mr.
I would like to make this forum, makes this class as usually Indonesian. For the first time, Indonesian is always say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and so on and so on. Okay, I hope my presentation no more than 5 minutes. And then it would be help to moderator to continue to the other paper. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Satya Budi Dartono. I come from Jakarta. I'm lecturer of Jakarta State University, the Faculty of Economy. This is a new faculty in this year. I propose a title for my paper, Impact of Servant Leaderships on Knowledge Characteristics. Maybe some of you, or maybe most of you, have many questions about this title. What kind of servant leadership and what kind of knowledge characteristics? Don't worry, it's just for management people. So don't worry for the other non-management people. Okay, I will try to briefly explain about knowledge characteristic first. Mortison proposed the concept of knowledge characteristic. It was reflect the kind of knowledge, skill, and ability demands that are placed on an individual as a function of what's done on the job. Then Heckman in 1980 said that in nature the study of work design was aimed to maximize the effect of performance on work, such as performing complex and difficult jobs, performing a variety of work and multiple tasks, and performing specialized tasks. But however, study of Mortison in 2006 and Humphrey in 2007 found that the relationship between knowledge characteristic and performance itself have not equivalent funding. And also in nature, the leader becomes important to give direction on the work process. Action and intention of leader able to maximize employee skill on work, and also empowering vision and service intentions proposed by Lee on the leadership concept. He proposed that this kind of empowering vision and service intention of leader may increase the subordinates become more effective on work. And the second construct that I would like to introduce here is servant leadership. I think you may have known about the transformational leadership, charismatic leadership, and so on. But in this time, I would like to introduce to you there is one concept of leadership called servant leadership. In 1997, Turner addressed this concept of servant leadership as leader with the natural feeling that one wants to serve and to serve first. Usually us that come from Indonesia 1 or 2 days ago want to serve better by committee. It was identified, servant leadership identified by 10 behavioral characteristics. First, listening, and then empathy, hearing, awareness, persuasion, conceptualization, foresight, stewardship, commitment to growth of others, and building community. And Lee in 2006 proposed that characteristic of servant leadership into 3 dimensions. First, empowering behavior. Second, vision, and the third is service intention. Empirical studies of servant leadership that have found by Eagle in 2005 and Graham in 1995, it was related with job satisfaction and motivation. But however, Atwater in 2009 and Kuti et al. In 2009 also indicate that the meaningful of servant leadership on subordinate to gain their success, such as performance, commitment, motivation, were still limited. That's why this will be one of the reasons this research, this studies still important. The study was aimed to expand the broader effect of servant leadership on knowledge characteristics. I propose 3 hypotheses here. First, empowering as the one of servant leadership dimensions have a positive influence to knowledge characteristics. There is 5 characteristics of knowledge. First, job complexity, information processing, problem solving, skill variety, and specialization. And the second hypothesis proposed that the other dimension of servant leadership, called leader vision, was also positively to knowledge characteristic. And the third, leader intention to serve, was positively influenced to knowledge characteristic. This is my reason why it's important. First, a fresh view of leadership, the concept of leadership nowadays is no longer focuses on an elite handful of superhumans. And also, servant leadership have actively cared for others. For example, McLean et al. In 1991 proposed that servant leadership involved interaction between leaders and their subordinates more intensively and has greater impact by impacting the values, attitudes, and behavior of subordinates. Lee and Graham also said that servant leadership action able to serve their followers best and encourage constructive participation. A further empirical study by Murchison and Humphrey in 2006 proposed work design, designed to increase the performance achievement. And Murchison et al. In 2003 and also Humphrey et al. In 2007 found that knowledge characteristics able to maximize employee performance. All of this focus on increasing performance. But servant leadership, servant leadership collaborate to the work designed here may strengthen the antecedent of performance. Accordingly, the investigation on the relationship between servant leadership and work design are plausible. In the study, I also tried to explore a little bit about cross-culture. Previous study said that servant leadership, even has grown as a discrete area leadership studies in North American and European context, but it is still little in Eastern context. It would describe the individual context in American and European to collectivism culture in Eastern context. And there is also increase of interest in cultural distinction within one region. In European region, American region, and also in Eastern region, Asia region. However, a number of others have warned against the generalization of one region such as Asia value. But it's less concerned, for example, the study of one region is less concerned and on humanitarians and more counts in self-interest. Why one region have difference? And also, it depends on economic consideration. Accordingly, it is appropriate to examine the values of the different of Eastern contexts. I choose the Indonesian and Taiwan. I use a measurement from Madison and Humphrey 2006 with 20 items of knowledge characteristic, and also 23 items taken from page F1 to propose the concept of servant leadership. This is the model. The model shows that it has a good fit based on UN Petrol, Ron, Kudek, Station, and Marcolides, and Schmecker. This is the result. The study has a result that leader empowering behavior, one of the leadership, servant leadership dimension, have a positive relation with job complexity. One of knowledge characteristic dimension, and also have a positive. Okay, thank you very much. This is the results, and I have also significant difference between Indonesia and Taiwan, and a lot of discussion and future future research direction. Thank you very much.
That was the presentation from Mr. Kutia Budidartono. For the next 5 minutes, we will have the Q&A session. Is there anyone who wants to ask a question for his not have done yet presentation? Okay, please.
Thank you for the motion.
You have one, sir.
Yes, thank you. Well, I'm a lady. I'm not a man.
Yes. I'm sorry.
What a very interesting topic, and then the question is, well, this is a critical question on the field of management. Whether how about the common method carriers price? This is the first question, and then the second question is based on your model. There is a negative relationship with your dependent variable and your dependent variable. But then you mentioned that there is a positive relationship on it. So then, how do you do?
Okay. Discussion on bias. I think we have many reasons.
Sure, that is why I'm asking. But,
Yeah,
but
that's
as a researcher, do you have any consideration?
Okay. I just focus on model of faith because it was a little bit complicated. Okay. The model of faith show us that it was good. That's why it represents that there is no problem of the bias. But if we would like to discuss in detail, I think there's many reasons, note by note. Okay, I don't discuss here. I just want to show you about the new concept of the servant leadership. This is my answer to you. I think all of us not so sure that we have satisfied with this short or very brief answer. And the second one, please.
So would you please go to your page about the model, the picture of the model? Yes, that's one. So there is a negative 10, right? There is a negative
Yes.
point 10 in the
Yeah.
relationship between empowerment and IEP. But then you say so that the positive relationship is resolved for the reason. So then why do you think?
Sorry. Okay. Okay. Okay, be honest. I forget that I put the right picture here.
Okay.
I put that picture here because I also have in the original paper I have three kind of illustration.
Right.
Yeah, but the final result based on this slides. Okay,
Which one?
the result.
The result, I see. Okay.
Okay.
So just forget about the picture here.
Yep.
Okay, because such as in the Indonesian data set, you still have a negative relationship also. And also in the Taiwanese data set, you still have a negative relationship also.
Yeah.
So,
This kind of result is over.
I see.
And then
So that's the wrong picture.
yep. And then I just want to show you the main result that show it is different or not between Indonesia and Taiwan. So I just show you the t-value.
I see. So that's the p-value. How about the significance?
Yeah, t-value shows that if the t-value more than higher than 1.96, it represents that it was a significant. I think it's very basic statistical understanding. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
For your
For Mr. Setia Budi Datono, and thank you very much for Ms.
City.
Titi for asking the question. Okay, right now,
Now 60, isn't it?
okay, please welcome our second speaker,
nasty.
Ms. itself with the paper title Selo Harjo Business Center, a lesson learned from Jastrova Agriculture Program based on community empowerment. As I said before, you have 10 minutes, and then later we will have 5 minutes of Q&A.
Sure.
Sure.
Thank you very much for moderator and also welcome. First of all, I'm not too confident with my English because my English is not that good. So then let me use my liberty to ask you whether is it understandable if I will do the presentation in Indonesia rather than in English?
I think
Same.
You still should be speaking in
Same, not in the same.
national conference.
Oh, see, okay, so this is the international conference. So then, well, if I have several difficulties on speaking English, please be understand about that kind of the problem because English is not my mother language. I would like to prefer to do the presentation in Japanese language, then language as well. So then let's try, I will try to do my best to do my presentation in English. And then, so first of all, I would like to share our appreciations as a part of the team for giving us opportunity to share about the idea of course, about the new knowledge in this kind of forums. And then we are looking for any suggestion for from you all. And then there are two authors in our paper. The first one is me, myself. My name is Turnas Titi. I am, I am enrolling as a PhD student in the National Central University in Chumli, Taichung. It's around 2 hours to go in.
How you
Sorry, yes, okay. That's my first mistake in English, okay? So then in Chumli, Taoyuan. And then the second author is Gunawan. He is also a student in the PhD program of University of Gadjah Mada, Indonesia. He is enrolling in anthropology department. And then both of us are lecturers. I am a lecturer of Faculty of Economics and Business, University of Gadjah Mada, and then Gunawan is a lecturer in the Semarang State University, UNES. Bener nggak? Okay, yes, let's continue our presentation. So then, welcome again. The Seloharjo Business Center, a lesson learned for Jatropa Agriculture Program based on community empowerment. So then, let's try to get the first hint based on our title. So the title of this presentation is quite long, but then actually I want to share to you about the Seloharjo Business Center. This is the first main topic. And the second topic is about the Jatropa Agriculture, Jatropa Kulkas, which is called in Indonesia as Jarak Agar, right? And then the third one is about the community empowerment. So Seloharjo Business Center is a community empowerment program that we had conducted before at 2006 at Bantul region based on community development. And then we try to implement this program, this model in the community empowerment program into Jatropa plantation, which has a lot of problems in Indonesia. So then based on this title, here is all of my outline of my presentation. First of all, we are going to discuss about Jatropa program. Why this is important, what's the motivation behind the Jatropa program, and also what's kind of problem in the Jatropa program in Indonesia. The second step, we are going to discuss about Seloharjo Business Center. And then the third step, we are going to discuss about the model application. It seems that I look like a marketer now by speaking very fast and then very frequently because I have to manage my presentation during 10 minutes only. So then this is the first step about the Jatropa program. Well, the crisis, the fuel crisis, especially the fossil fuel crisis, becomes the major motivation of the government of Indonesia to develop more the Jatropa agriculture program in Indonesia. Based on our previous research, the Jatropa agriculture program, there are several policies belongs to the government of Indonesia. First of all, at 2005. There is a national program on poverty tackling, right? Belongs to the Indonesian government. So that it means that the Jatropa program belongs to the Indonesian government is not related only with the how to improve the numbers of Jatropa the biofuel in Indonesia, but also how to reduce poverty number in Indonesia. And then, of course, at 2006, in presidential instruction, which is meant as Instruksi Presiden number impress, right? Number 1 at 2006, President of Republic Indonesia said that each of the ministry have to be very focused on developing Jatropa plantation more in each of the regions. And also at 2006, there is a self-sufficiency village program, Desa Mandiri Energy, which is announced in Ngaringan Seloharjo. And then Ngaringan Central Java, Purwodadi. When we went there, we found that there is no activity there now. So that based on those kind of policies, it seems that policy attract a lot of investors to invest their money into Indonesia Jatropa plantations program. But there seems a lot of problem also with those kind of the activities. So, what kind of problem in the Jatropa plantation program in Indonesia? The first problem is previously program that had been implemented so far. This is mainly based on the relationship between investor and also farmers. So then, in the first step, investor met with the government to look at some of the motivation spirit, and then after that, the investor will go directly into the farmers. And then the investor will say to the farmers that Jatropa is a very easy planted crops because it could be suitable in the marginal land, and then it's very economical based, and then based on that kind of reason, farmers are interested to plant Jatropa. But then unfortunately, after planting the Jatropa, farmers just realized that there are a problem on farming it, especially in the harvesting period. Because each kernel of Jatropa has their own level of maturity. So it means that the farmers cannot plant the Jatropa in one occasion time. They have to round by round, step by step to harvest the kernel. This is the first problem. And then the second problem, the investor give a promise to buy the Jatropa in a very high price. But then unfortunately, after harvesting, they are coming, just like promising, but just like what have been promised previously. But then they buy the product, but not as high as expected previously. So then the farmers feel very disappointed with that kind of problem. So there is 5 minutes left, isn't it? Oh, 3 minutes left. Okay. Ooh, okay. This is not the main point. This is only in the introduction part. Thank you. So then, based on that kind of problem, we try to find a solution, because the dream of the Chatropa plantation is very important. The dream is about how to reduce poverty. But then previously program is not well suitable in Indonesia. So then we try to find out a program that could be suitable enough to be implemented in Chatropa plantation program in Indonesia. So here is the model. Would you please go to the next slide? Okay, so this is based on Selo Harjo Business Center. Selo Harjo Business Center is community-based empowerment program that we had conducted previously at 2006 after the Yogyakarta earthquake period. So here is the relationship model. So there are several partners will be related to each other to do the Selo Harjo Business Center. The first one is investor itself, which is in Selo Harjo. This is JICA, Japan International Cooperation Agency, and also the facilitator, and also the community, Selo Harjo itself, and also the government. Which is mean that facilitator in here is very important to do the activity of community empowerment. And then during the community activity, we use SECHI method, which is based on Nonaka, Professor Nonaka from Japan, which is stand for socialization, externalization, combination, and also internalization. So based into that kind of program, we would like to show that there is a possibility to implement the same program, the same community empowerment program, to be implemented in the Chatropa plantations, especially with the importance of the facilitators, and also with the application of socialization. Okay, for the SECHI program. 1 minute left. Okay. So what is the conclusion? The conclusion is, if we want to develop more into Chatropa plantation program in Indonesia, the problem is not in the supply side. In the economics, we always have supply and demand. The problem is not in the supply side, but then the problem is in demand. So when we put the production based on the market base, it will be not well implemented in Indonesia. So then, because the market is not that promising enough, so then put it into the community empowerment program. Put it belongs to the community programs. And then try to internalize that program into the farmers. Try to make them sure that planting Chatropa is not only about increasing their monetary income, but in the next future coming time, they are going to be involved in the community, in the world health, or in the reduction of the fuel fossil energy. May I have another 30 minutes? Another 30 seconds to share to the audience about some pictures? Okay, so would you please go to the next slide? Go again. So here is the picture of Selo Harjo, the previous community empowerment program. So then again, yes. So as a facilitators, we have to determine what is the values of the organization. Wiwet saking ingkang alit, I don't want to provide a translation in English. And then NAPU. And then this is the organizational structures. And then would you please go to the next slide? And here is the focus group discussions. So this is Gunawan, my second author. So we met the committed community, and then we try to have a very good commitment with them. And also focus group discussions. Another focus group discussion pictures. And then after that, we try to internalize that program into the community by inviting another local villagers to know about Selo Harjo Business Center. And then we even bring the committed working groups into the university to make them sure that their idea is very important for the coming future life. And then so this is the very basic managerial theory. But then if we put it into some sentences, it will be very difficult for them. That is why we make a very simple picture on it. And then, yes, we try to promote that program into the villagers. And then here is our promotions.